Hello, my fellow nerds. How you guys doing today? So I am currently just south of St. Louis. For those of you who might not be watching in America, that's St. Louis. All right. Was there a St. Louis? I don't know. I might need to look that up. But anyway, let's see now. Last time we talked about the second book, Shadow. What is it? It wasn't Shadows of Night or Night of Shadow. You know what I mean? Like, can't think right now. What was it? Shadows of Night? I think it was Shadows of Night. I think it was. Yes. All right. So we are now up to the final of the trilogy, written by Deborah Harkness. It is Book of Life. I love this one. Oh my God! It's see, the order of my favorite is third, first, second. All right, and oh my God, this one is just so beautiful. This one was the voice acting alone was awesome. All right, so at the end of the second book, Matthew and Diana come back to the present, and they find out that M has died, and so that's where you kind of pick up. So in the beginning of the third, you find out that M was directly or indirectly, it's kind of hard, they don't really say for sure, killed by Peter Knox. Peter Knox, of course, made an appearance in the second one. He was kind of one of the main villains in the first book, so he's back, and he's still an ass. And then, Diana is now heavily pregnant, and, she's getting more heavily pregnant. I don't know, how pregnant she actually is. Time just seems to be working very differently in these books. It's really hard to tell how much time is passing, because it doesn't really say how much. But so they start off in France, Septor, and let's see, Matthew's brother, it's not Marcus, that's his son, his brother. What is his brother's name? Shoot. I cannot think of his brother's name. And it's, oh my God, it's going to drive me insane for the next few minutes. But anyway, I need to keep going that way. This doesn't turn into a 30-minute video. Anyway, he shows up, and he does not fully believe that Diana is now, his sister. And he is being an ass. He's taking control of the family. Well, he's head of the family, so he can, but he's abusing his authority. He's just an asshole, But there's this beautiful scene on the, not long after he first shows up, where Philippe's manservant, who's a vampire, he shows up with a letter written by Philippe just before he died, after he was tortured and, returned home. He just wasn't the same, He had trouble writing. He was, obviously you're tortured. You're not really going to be right in the head. But he wrote a letter to Diana, actually. I love this scene. I know this is a spoiler, but I love this scene. He writes a letter to Diana, telling her that she kept her word. And if you remember from the last video, I told you that there is a beautiful scene where she walks up to him and tells him that she will be there for him in his darkest time. And oh my God, for him to remember that through the centuries and to even write her a letter, despite how difficult it was for him to physically do so. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Oh, I love that scene. I love them. Oh my God. That, every time I listen to the narrator go over that scene, tears every time. It's a beautiful scene. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to really kind of skip over a bunch of stuff. But anyway, so Matthew's brother demands that because of the conclave, the governing body of supernaturals, basically anyone who is currently at Septor kind of needs to scatter, because they got witches and demons there, so everyone needs to scatter. So Matthew and Diana go to back to New York, back to Madison, with her aunt, and they're there for a little while. Diana kind of connects with the witch community, which she didn't do when she lived there as a kid. You know, she kind of tried to stay firmly away from the witches there. But now she's kind of realizing, you know, what she missed, and she's really kind of starting to try to grow into being a witch and a weaver. And just really good interactions, really wonderful scenes. And then a friend of Diana's, who is a chemistry professor at her college, which is it's not Princeton. It's the one in Connecticut. It's not Harvard. That's in Boston. Shoot, I cannot think of anything right now. But I'll probably think of it later. I'll probably tell you the name of it down in the description or something, or maybe not. Who knows? It's not a big deal. But anyway, they go to New Haven, Connecticut, where Matthew is kind of working with Diana's friend, whose name is escaping me again. God damn, I fucking suck at this. And together, Matthew and the friend are dissecting the pages of this manuscript that they currently have. They have all the pages now. They just don't have the book itself. So So while Matthew and friend are doing this, Diana's kind of researching for the book, trying to find out, okay, who actually had it, and trying to track it down. Meanwhile, Diana's pregnancy is going along, and one day they're walking back to Diana's house, and they get a surprise. Jack, the little boy from the second book, is there. He's an adult, a young adult, but he's a young adult, and he was turned into a vampire. And Father Hubbard's there too. Remember I told you about Father Hubbard. And you know, I like Father Hubbard. And then that's when he realized Matthew had, and they kind of bring him up in the second book. But Matthew has another son other than Marcus, whose name is Benjamin. I think it's Benjamin. I could be wrong, but I want to say it's Benjamin. And if it isn't, then oh well. But this son has blood rage, and revels in his blood rage, and is finding witches, torturing witches, and trying to impregnate them for reasons I'm not quite sure. But basically, he's batshit crazy. He's completely evil, and and he's also the sire of Father Hubbard, and Father Hubbard sired Jack, and so that makes him Benjamin's grandson. All right. So basically, they live in New Haven for a little while, and where's it Is it New Haven? No, could be. Is it? I'm gonna be driven insane with what I can't remember. Anyway, so Matthew's brother then shows up and gives Matthew an ultimatum because Jack has blood rage as well. He tells Matthew that he has to kill him. That's his order. Instead, Matthew decides to gather all of his family, and Marcus's children, all the children Matthew doesn't have any other kids. So basically, it's just Marcus and all of his children, and get them all in line to form a scion, basically a separate family from the Claremont family. So they separate for a little while. Diana doesn't really. She leaves New Haven and goes to London, to a house that she owns. She inherited. She got it from Matthew. It was part of her dowry, I think, when they officially married. And she lives there for a while her pregnancy advances. Matthew goes to New Orleans, where his grandchildren are, and he gets them all in line. They reunite, and babies are born. Yay! Really kind of a funny birthing scenes. Just saying, you know. And then let's see. They go and live in France. They have a naming ceremony. The babies are named Philip and Rebecca. That's it. Philip and Rebecca. Named after Matthew's father and Diana's mother. Alright? And while they're there, they're kind of hinting that Philip will physically be like his father, really tall, really big, but seems to be more of a witch like his mother, whereas Rebecca will take more after the mother physically, but is more vampiric like her father, because Rebecca doesn't really eat much in terms of baby food until Diana starts putting blood into the milk. So, yeah, Rebecca's more vampire than witch, you know. Anyway, after a while, they live in France. They live in France for a little while, and then Matthew goes and tries to hunt down Benjamin. Meanwhile, Diana goes to. I'm just going to call them the Conclave. I think they have another name, but I can't remember it. And basically, what ends up happening is Matthew is kidnapped, and so Diana goes to the Conclave as the new the Claremont representative. You'll find out about the rules about all that in the book, and tries to persuade them to join in the hunt against Benjamin. Not quite successful, but she does shake things up quite a bit. There's a few things that she learns that's kind of important. All right, and then after that they go and they Matthew is captured and tortured by Benjamin. He even has a little website set up so that way they can watch some of his torture. And yeah, so then they end the book with a big rescue. Benjamin's dead. Peter Knox is killed, and yeah, so that's really. I mean, I skipped over a lot of stuff. Really, there's a ton of stuff that happens. Ton of stuff. Some of it is important to the story, some of it isn't. But even the ones that aren't really important to the story are just great scenes, and you do learn some things. So that's really the end of the All Souls trilogy. Like I said, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I love it to death. I love it to death. And the voice acting is just fit. Coughing and sneezing. Wonder if I have to use the bathroom in a few minutes. Probably. But, so yeah. I absolutely love this trilogy. Oh, it's such a beautiful trilogy. I've listened to it several times already, you know? And it's just a great trilogy. Easy listening to. You know, and, let's see. If you don't want to buy the audiobooks or just the books in general, one thing I do, and they're not sponsored. I feel like I have to legally say this. They're not sponsoring me, okay? But I use Hoopla and Cloud Library, and this allows me to rent these books and audiobooks for free. You know, so if you have a library that's connected to them, use them. Okay, it's very easy. You don't have to leave the house. You can, and they don't have everything that they would have in physical book, but you know, they may have it. You never know. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I'm going to try to upload this. It might take a while. Who knows? But yeah, so you guys have a good one. Give this trilogy a try. I absolutely adored this trilogy. I feel like I keep repeating myself. I just loved it so much, you know. It had great characters. The voice acting on the audiobooks is just phenomenal. And yeah, it doesn't quite, like, some of it is, I might talk about some of it while some stuff I didn't like, but probably in the next video, which I have time. I might just record it after this, depending on how fast this thing uploads. But but it's still just beautifully a real beautiful story, and I just enjoy the hell out of it, you know. And like I said, I've already listened to it a couple times already. I'm probably going to listen to it again soon, you know, just because it is such a great story, and it has great characters, and the history behind history that they use with it is just fascinating. And come to find out that Deborah Harkness is kind of an expert on Elizabethan times, as well as, alchemy at that time, because she actually wrote a dissertation on John Dee, who I think I told you before in the last video was an alchemist of that time. So that is interesting as all hell, So yeah, like I said, give this a try. If you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, boring, hate me, love me, I don't care. Feel free to comment down below, like, share, subscribe, all that happy fun stuff, I don't care. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. I may just record that now. Who knows? Kind of depends on how fast this uploads. So, you guys have a good one.